Thank you, distinguished guests, colonels, Mr. Madden, ladies and gentlemen, Marines, our rescue workers, policemen and firemen. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for this opportunity to meet and fellowship as we commemorate the events of September 11th, 2001. On that day, we made a transition from a nation of peace to a nation of barricades and heightened security. Our very way of life changed as we watched dust-soaked survivors make their way through a cloud of debris that was moments before the Twin Towers. That day, this nation made a choice. We were faced with either living in fear of a hidden and unknown enemy, or we would take the fight to them. And this is the choice our country and our Corps made that day. The British author George Orwell once said, "Men sleep peacefully in their bed at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf." I see some of these rough men and women standing before me today, some of which were only 5 or 6 years old when the towers collapsed and flags were raised. Now you serve as young men and women in a Corps still at war and have probably served at least one tour in Afghanistan. Other members of the audience wore the uniform then as you do today and have served numerous tours in countries to include Iraq, Kuwait, Djibouti, and other places around the globe. Some have chosen to stay as civil servants or contractors, eager to serve our nation today as you did on that day. Not only do we stand here today to remember the sacrifices you made, we stand here to remember the day itself, to remember those soot-covered faces on the nightly news and those nearly 3,000 Americans who perished, not able to make it out in time to safety. Although confusion prevailed after the first plane struck, the collective subconscious of the nation knew we were under attack. The passengers of Flight 93 certainly knew, and they, as so many Americans have since then, made the ultimate sacrifice to save their fellow countrymen. One of the Americans on board was an individual named Todd Beamer. After making one last phone call to his family, he and other members of the flight rushed their hijackers, preventing the plane from reaching its intended target. He said, "Are you ready? Okay, let's roll." His last words have echoed ever since as an epithet of what this country stands for.